Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Chess Hangouts. So today we'll be covering one of the Blitz games between Anish Giri and Carlsen. And although this was a Blitz game, I found this game one of the most craziest games I've ever seen. And despite this being a Blitz game, the intricacy of this game just shows you that Carlsen is just on a different level. So anyways, let's just get to the game. So we have Anish playing white and Carlsen was playing black. So Anish played e4. So we have c5. So Carlsen was going for the Sicilian defense. We have knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, e6, white castles, knight e7, and d4 by Anish. So Carlsen captures with the knight, and we have queen b6. So over here, Carlsen is having a double attack on the knight as well as the bishop. But then that's fine because Anish can just play bishop e3. So over here, Carlsen captures the knight. So you can see that now black is again attacking the bishop. So black would get an extra piece. But still Anish just plays a4 and that's safe. And because this knight is still pinned and there are two attackers on the knight, Anish should just eventually get the knight as well. And there's no point of playing e5 because then you would just play c3 and this knight is gone. So for a4 we have Carlsen playing knight into b5. Yeah, Carlsen just played knight into b5 and he just offered his queen in a blitz game on move 8. So this is an incredible move, and let's just try to understand what Carlsen is planning on. So obviously we have Anish playing bishop into b6 and we have a into b6, and over here you can see that white can't capture this knight because if white captures the knight then this rook is hanging. So white can't capture the knight, and at this position you can see that black basically has two of its bishop pairs and an extra knight for a queen. So in terms of material it is equal, but still white has a whole queen, and you can see that black's pieces are not developed yet. And as I mentioned before in my old videos, if you're exchanging a queen for a bunch of pieces, it's fine as long as there is coordination between all those pieces. And you could see that over here none of his pieces are developed yet, and it will be very hard for Carlsen to pull this off, especially against a grandmaster like Anish Giri. So let's see what Carlsen has planned. So over here we have knight d2, we have knight d6 because now the black knight has to move because queen can just capture the rook if rook does capture. So we have e5 and knight f5, which is a very strong square. But then eventually white will play g4 because at this point white's king is pretty safe because there's no black queen that's threatening, right? So it's okay for white to play g4 and similar moves. So we have knight e4 and knight c6 so that white can't play this knight d6 move, and we have g4 as planned. So now we have knight h4 and we have f4. So white is just advancing all its pawns, and at this point Anish is trying to go all out attack because you can see that black's king is pretty much in the center and black's pieces aren't developed yet. So it makes total sense for white to make the most of this and not give black room to breathe. What does Carlsen play here? Carlsen plays h5. So Carlsen's like, okay, so if you're gonna go for the center and go all out, that's fine by me because I'm just gonna give my rook some space by playing h5 and getting an entire h file. So we have Anish playing h3, we have captures, so black has an entire file to himself. So now we have d5, and obviously Anish does the en passant capture, and we have rook a5 this move. So Carlsen is planning this rook d5 and then eventually taking this pawn. So now we have c4 to prevent that, and we have f5, again attacking the center and trying to get rid of this knight. So we have b4 now attacking the rook. So we have knight into b4, and we have d7. So we have bishop into d7, and then we have knight d6 check. So Carlsen captures the knight, we have queen capturing the bishop, and now we have the knight going back to c6, and we have rook d1. So there is a double attack on the bishop. So the only move here is bishop c8. So you could see that like black is struggling a lot. Also you could see that there's not much white can threaten black with at this point, because white is pretty much out of moves. There is nothing white can do, because in a way all of black's pieces are synchronized in such a manner that black is safe at the moment.
So now we have g5, we have knight g6, we have rook f2, king f7, we have queen c7 check, we have knight e7, we have rook d8 offering a rook exchange. The rook captures, queen captures, rook takes the pawn, we have queen c7 in order to defend the pawn, and we have e5. So we have captures and bishop e6. Now there is a double attack on this pawn. So queen captures the pawn, rook captures the pawn, and queen captures the pawn. For this point, white and black have basically cleaned up the queen side, and now it's all about these two pawns.
But also just notice how Carlsen has just created this shield in order to keep his black king safe, and that shield looks impenetrable, to be honest. So we have knight capturing the pawn. So we have rook e2 now attacking the knight, and if the knight moves, there's a double attack on the bishop. So we have rook c6 attacking the queen, and we have the queen coming back to e3, and we have the knight going back to g6. So now king h2, we have bishop c4, rook b2, rook e6 attacking the queen, we have queen f3, we have rook e4. So now at this point black can mess with white's king as well by going over here, or black can also threaten this f4 push as well in due time. So we have rook b7, and we have bishop e6. So over here the threat was queen was going to capture the pawn, and knight would not be able to defend because of the pin. So in order to avoid that, Carlsen has played bishop e6. So now king g1, we have rook g4 check, king h2, rook into g5. So now black is in total control, but then it's all about trying to promote his pawn. So now rook b6, we have bishop d5, queen e3, rook g2 check, king h3, rook g4, king h2, and f4.
We have queen d4, we have rook g5, and we have rook d6, we have f3 push, we have rook d7, rook f5. So now black is just waiting for this pawn promotion.
So now we have queen g4. So again white is threatening to capture the rook because of this pin. And this being a blitz game, these are all small tactics that Anish is hoping would work, but then this is Carlsen of all people, so it works. So we have bishop e6, then rook d1, we have knight e5, queen h4, f2, king g2, bishop d5 check, king has to go back, another check, king goes back to g2, and we have promotion. And it was at this point that Anish resigned the match, because there's pretty much nothing that white can do, because after captures you could see that white has all of these pieces, black has all of these pieces, and white just has a queen. So this was just an incredible game, to be honest, because Carlsen sacrificed his queen at move 8, when none of his pieces were developed, against a grandmaster like Anish Giri, and he pulls it off and wins the match in spectacular fashion. So like, to me, this is one of the most crazy, offensive, yet insanely solid defensive games that I've ever seen. And some of the moves were just incredible, and it was something only Magnus could pull off. And probably this is why Magnus is currently the #1 chess player in the world, because he's on a different class at the moment. So I hope you all enjoyed the game. Please do like and subscribe to my channel. Also, let me know in the comments if you want me to cover any games. I would definitely try to post videos based on your comments. So thank you.